Hello, and let's hope this works. It's been a long while, and I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm trying to get my blooming internet to work on both, and for some reason, it's not showing up on this. So why is that not showing up on that? God knows. So, then oh, hang on, all of a sudden it started to work. So, hello and welcome to a live Wraggy's beer review. Not that my laptop's playing up. It's I set one up and then I managed to set two up at the same time. For God's sakes! And nothing ever goes to plan for me. Oh, yeah, typical Wraggy's beer reviews. I'll click on that. If it clicks on it, I've tried to click on this link and it's not letting me click on the link. So, hello and welcome to what will be, if I can get it, if I can sort things out, because I need my live chat on this side of the room so I can actually read what it says on there. Hello and welcome to everyone. So tonight I thought I'd had a good evening, Lorraine. How are you? It's showing up on there, but it's not showing up on there. Phones are ever so funny, aren't they? I'm good, thank you. Hope you're well. Oh God, I don't want to see my face. Oh dear, no. Put the pop-out chat on. Good evening, POW. How are you? There we go. That's better. Yeah. The worst thing, I can see my face in one, but I don't want to see my face in stereo because there's just too much of seeing your own face. So tonight's beers, Battle of the IPA. I do want to come back with more battles. Why? Because supermarket beers, battles of the supermarket beers, are much more interesting than and cheap as well. Good evening, Tad. Is this live? I don't know. Yeah, funnily enough. Yeah. Actually alive. Yeah, only the second one this year. Yeah. I got peed off with the bloody although that's gone on the funk, isn't it? For God's sake, stupid bloody pages. Yeah, it should be good. Restore chat. I'll click on the restore chat. Oh yeah. Nothing ever goes right, does it? Hey, laptop's playing up now, but I can see the oh, you absolute bastard. Go away. So, do apologise for the profanity. Two amazing beers, and I'll try and get back on the chat in a minute. Yeah, two amazing beers. Oakham out of obviously Peterborough, St Austell from Cornwall, and I think it is anyway. Yeah, and so I click on again. Let me try and get my chat working. There, I can see the chat now. Yeah, I'll leave it as that. I'll have to just look at my ugly face twice. Yeah, the face on this camera looks really good. The face on that camera is about a minute behind, and yeah, I don't see that face. And yeah, I hope you're well as well. I hope everyone's well. It's good to be back. I need to get back into this thing of doing beer reviews, although seeing my face twice is just doing me nothing. But anyway, I'll talk about the beers first. Let me grab the old magnifying glass. I could grab me glasses, but I look right twonking glasses. So Oakham Citra. If you've never had it before, why haven't you had this on cask? It's absolutely sublime. It's got a bit of a backstory to it. It's an interesting beer, to be fair. 4.6% volume, described as zesty, hoppy, and citrus. It did mean to be on at 7 o'clock, but the wife was at the Bulwell Forest, at Bulwell rather, at the pub, and yeah, it was a bit late. Drinking tonight at Austell Hicks Ale. Oh, Lorraine, Austell Hicks is fantastic, absolutely amazing. Asda. And I have the Oakham Citra in my fridge. We'll have later. It's quite nice. I had it before. Ooh. Good evening, Benjamin. On Spanish, I know, half an hour late. God, don't tell me about it. I hate being late. It really bugs me as well, being late. Always have to Citra on draft at the old Man and Scythe here in Bolton. Citra don't half get about, doesn't it? So I'll read what it says, just in case anybody watches this in the future who doesn't know what Oakham Citra is. So, in 2009, on his annual hop sourcing visit to the USA, Oakham's brewing director, John Bryan, discovered an exceptional new hop variety, Citra. He rushed it to the UK, ensuring, that's how you pronounce it, ensuring that Oakham Ales were the first UK brewery to a brew beer with 100% Citra hops and maintaining Oakham's reputation for pioneering innovation. Light golden colour, bursting with citrus and tropical hop flavours and sensationally refreshing. The original UK Citra. You can't fault them for that, can you? You know, in the grand scheme of things, being the first in the country. And anyway, St. Austell, I'm still seeing my face on 2 cameras. It's killing me, absolutely killing me. Bad enough seeing my face once, but you know, twice. It's funny because, you know, with mirrors, when I'm upstairs in the bathroom, my reflection in the mirror, I like it. And yeah, anywhere else, well, I hate it. So, proper job, powerfully hopped IPA, bottle condition, 5.5%, bit stronger than the old Citra. And on the back it says, an authentic IPA packed with full of citrus flavours. Proper job is big, bold and strong beer with crisp, bitter finish, perfect for pairing with full flavoured dishes. Obviously, St. Austell, doesn't say where they're based. Yeah, Cornwall, thought it was. Just checking myself there. Always on Spanish. I know, terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm on the eldest. Oh, that's my phone. I can tell that's my phone because there's nothing over there that should have fell off. I'm going to check my phone's okay because without the phone, I'm stuffed. What's fell on the floor for? Stupid phone. That's all working. Yeah. There will be a Wraggy review about something happening or the internet going down, but let's hope so. Right? Evening from sunny Wales. Good evening, Shane. Drinking a Leffe Blonde, 3.49 for 750 mils. You can't follow that, can you? When you think that I paid £3.25 for Northern Monk's ice cream jobber, that was not very nice in the grand scheme of things, and again getting like twice the amount or nearly twice the amount for 20 pence more. Been a long day at work, busy weekend. Looking forward to some cold beers Monday night. Fair play there. So I'll crack each one open, standard review sort of thing, and I'm glad it's not too busy, to be fair, because I bet Mr. Real Ale Craft Beer's on tonight. That means I can slip in the side door and get myself used to doing things again. On a local microbreweries beer, Tinhead Brewery. Never heard of that brewery. Then again, when there's 2,200 breweries in the UK, there's going to be a hell of a lot that one have never been reviewed by any beer reviewer. There's a hell of a lot that not one single beer reviewer has reviewed. And this is where beer reviewers from certain parts of the country should be reviewing their local beers. 4 days a week for me. These days are winding down. 4-day weeks. My weeks have been ridiculous just lately. I've been last week 13 hours Monday, 11, 10, 11, 11. 5 hours Saturday, 4 hours Sunday, and then Monday off. This week, Tuesday, 12 and a half hours Tuesday, 11, 10, and today was 10 as well. So it's been a crazy busy time. I'm off the weekend. I've got a whole weekend off work, thank God. Need it off. So anyway, Oakham Citra. We'll do this first. Recently, I've had this on. Usually a trad man myself, but do enjoy a few crafts. Yeah, I like both crafts. I like trad, but these days, if I can't afford to do craft, I'm back on trad. It's as simple as that. Drinking a lot of cask beer these days, supporting pubs, going out, doing a bit at the pubs. The funny thing is, I can do a load of reviews in the pub literally in a few hours, and that lasts me the whole week. It's really weird how it happens. Halves and thirds is the thing. But anyway, that was a tin opener. Doing 12, 12, 12, 12. Oh, Sunday's last shift, then 4 days at home, Monday to Thursday. Oh, bless you. Good evening, Carla. And yeah, it's always interesting. It's going to be an interesting battle between these two, the big beers from big breweries. Good evening, Matt. How are you? And it's been a while. I will be a bit rusty. I've got to get myself into the motion of doing stuff because Nottingham Craft Beer Festival's coming up, and I want to show these breweries from across the UK that there's a certain person in Nottingham called Wraggy who does beer reviews and who does a lot of stuff on the internet. But not only that, I've got to do a speech at my wedding vows. And if anybody's ever done speeches, good evening, Philip. It's not easy doing speeches. Splitting my drinks these days between shop beers and home brew. I tell you what, to survive for beer, you've got to be looking at your finances, haven't you? It's not easy. Trad beers are the way forward. Too many samey West Coast IPAs. Carla, you're right. The problem is too many beers are tasting the same. And it's all right, but when you pay for a beer, it's really disappointing. And 3 or 4 quid for a beer might not sound a lot to a lot of people. But you know, if you're on a budget, it's not an easy thing to stomach. Even the local club is £4.40 for a pint of Madry. Yeah, not even brewed in Madrid. Brewed in Burton. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? So anyway, Citra. Straw coloured pour. Good carbonation, as you can see. Finger of Whitehead on this. I will keep one eye on the comments on the laptop. Good thing the laptop's playing well. Please play well, laptop. Both using my phone for the internet. It's amazing, isn't it? Spanish calling Madrid. Yeah. Who else has jumped on that wagon there? Heineken. I know, because I've been told, Heineken are looking to dump Carling. Is Carling theirs? No, Foster's, sorry. Looking to dump Foster's, Strongbow, and some of these because they're hoping to bring out more higher premium beers and lagers. If it tastes good, fair play. Matt, low cost beers, amazing. Have you seen all the Fallen Acorn stuff on there? If I was spending money at the moment, I'd be looking at their draft beers. Ooh. Luke, good evening. Been a while, mate. Don't be well. £5 a pint is a lot when you're a bit on a big round. Yeah, definitely. It can get very, very expensive. Oakham are fantastic brew. Citra and Inferno, absolute staples. Such good quality for such good value. It's great to hear that from a lady. You know, there's not. I mean, I'm lucky because I've got a friend, Danielle, who works for the Evening Post in Nottingham, and she promotes local breweries, local beers, and she does a great job of it. And the more ladies that are promoting it, because there's a lot of ladies that don't know, they'll stick to lagers. That and lagers are okay. They quench your thirst, but they're not flavourful in the grand scheme of things. Going to get the stouts. Yeah, I've seen them tonight as well. Cheers, mate. What's the ABV on the Oakham? So Oakham is 4.6% on the ABV. I'll put it to the camera just so you can see it. There you go. On cask, absolutely amazing. If you've not had this on cask, Morrison's in Bull. I often have Oakham Inferno, something a bottle, or 4 for free, £4 a bottle. That's actually quite dear for Oakham Inferno. Austell Tribute is 4.2. Would that be a better comparison? Yeah, but Tribute's not an IPA, is it? It's more of is it an amber? £2 a bottle. Yeah, I thought it would be. Good evening, Thomas. Been a while, matey. And it's good to be back. These doing beer reviews down the shed, talking to the thing and talking to the phone and not really no interaction and that. So anyway. Tribute's pale ale. So I've got hay fever, so my nose isn't brilliant tonight. It would have hay fever on the very night that you do. I went to somebody's garden, a friend of ours' garden, and mowed their grass, and I'm sneezing my absolute head off. £1.80 in Asda. citrusy, nice bite in the back end. Wraggy still owes a month of Lies reviewing the last bits of the beer wall. Hey, there's not much of the beer wall left, is there? I've been necking the beer wall, to be honest. Good evening, Mr. Stinksmith. St. Austell proper black for the first time today. Ooh, not sure I've had that. Is that on cask or bottle? Oak and Citra was first proper ale I got into. Ooh, fair play, fair play. Good evening, Lee. Yeah, not so bad, doing well. Yeah, managed to get home half an hour late, but these things happen, don't they? You know, you can't always get on time. Late great Bear Goggles. I don't really know Bear Goggles. Might have heard of him. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? You know, this life's a short life. We need to embrace our lives as best as we can, you know, in bottle. Right, yeah. JB, yeah, he's good. He's a good lad. Do I think the craft beer market will tank? No. I just think the craft beer market may need to rein the prices in whilst people are struggling. But there's a lot of people out there with a lot of money who can afford the craft beer. Then there's a lot of people who are on low income, myself, in that, who really, really struggle to get to the craft beer pubs. And when it's £6 a third, you know, it can be really difficult to get them. Love the character on the front of the bottle. It is good, isn't it? The picture on the front. Do the Happy Drinkers plan on visiting Thornbridge? Yes, mate. Yes. There is talk of going over on July the 15th, the day after my wedding vows. The only downer is you can't stay anywhere in Bakewell. If anybody's ever looked at going to Bakewell, where the hell do you stay? Because the prices are just ridiculous. I can't get anywhere that's cheap. I only want somewhere to put my head down. I don't want a 10-star hotel. I just about 5-star. I just want somewhere decent. Just found out the Saturday the trains are running. Oh, bus service from Derby to Notts. Oh, I shall be there along with Liam, Jagman, Shane, and Mark, Craig. Hopzine's supposed to be coming for the Saturday, so that should be a great Saturday. £6 a third is what it was, mate. Yeah, I'd been drinking all day, and then he turned around to me and said, "Oh, that one's £18 a pint," and I'm like, Jesus Christ, £18 a pint. There is a lot of IPAs like that in there. You know, you drink them and you think, what's the difference? Cloudwater were guilty of that the other year, the ones that went to Tesco's. Yeah, £18 a pint or £6 a third. But you know, when they turn around, £6 a third wouldn't have been, doesn't sound so bad. But you know, when they say £18 a pint, it's like, what? And I was half steaming. And then when they said £18 a pint, and it like, whoa, I'm not touching that. That woke up the Wraggy, you know, like that barrier that says, fuck that. I'm not paying that. Pardon my French, anyway, in case anybody's watching and you think, yeah, why are you swearing, Mr. Wraggy? That isn't Schofield hiding in the bush in the bottle, is it? Yeah. Wow. Isn't there some stuff about Philip Schofield on the internet? I don't really follow what goes off on TV. Don't care. But it's all I'm seeing. And some of the stuff on TikTok's hilarious. Yeah. There's obviously a lot of things that are going off, and it's a naughty world out there at the moment. Thomas, second jobs, mate. I'm having to work silly hours to keep things afloat, to pay for stuff. So I'm doing my standard 8-hour day that pays for the house, the bills, and then I'm doing an extra 3-4 hours a day on top, you know, just to put the money in the kitty to buy beer, you know, and go out and stuff like that. And it's a funny world at the moment. It's lucky that I'm still able to do it. Imagine being 70 or 80 and having to go out to work. You know, it's this country's so bad. Luke, do you think the supermarkets are being greedy? The supermarkets and petrol and that pushing the prices up. That's what's causing inflation. only problem with that is the greed inflation's pushing it up even further. So it's making people struggle. People are having to work more to pay for this stuff. Somebody somewhere, shareholders, bosses of companies, certain companies, not all companies, certain companies are making a lot of money. Carla, you're right. You know, sometimes when we've gone to Beeston, it's like 70 or 80 quid, and that's for about 4 or 5 hours. And it's like, oof, it's not cheap. Have to be very careful on rounds as well. Have to be very, very careful. I had to get the wife a second job. It's getting bad now. Trade my wife in for more. You can have a model. Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, it's tasting great. I've had this on cask. Good evening, Mr. U. How are you? It's been a while, matey. What part of the world are you in at the moment? I can never keep up. Every time I look on the internet, you're in a different part. Hope you're well. Drinkable, so refreshing. Obviously, cask is king. You know, wherever you go, cask is king. Although I've heard there's a beer reviewer out there, Scottish chappie that might, and I'll be seeing him soon, that actually prefers keg over cask. So that's quite interesting, that is. I will have to have that conversation with him. Luke, yeah, 2 jobs. You know, as much as I like working, I like my family, and I also like a rest. And this is the first weekend off I've had in a long while, and it's nice to have 2 back-to-back days off work. And you know, I love gardening, but it's really draining. Today, Jesse Lingard has left Forest. Good decision. Yeah. He brought something to Forest. He bought exposure, but he wasn't worth the money he was getting paid. Not by a long shot. £2.50 a bottle for San Miguel in supermarkets. Yeah, supermarkets are just, I think supermarkets are robbing us. Jim Bob knows nothing. You knew what I was on about. Cask is, I've had cask and I've had bottle at literally the same time. The same beer put into both. Cask was the winner. Second job should be tax free. Well, it is if you don't say who. But it also isn't if it does go through the system, because then you get pounded even more. Yeah, it's about the one thing about the UK. I mean, I've had literally this last year since I've joined, since I've me and the what we call the happy drinkers have joined together. Not saying too much. I'll pay enough taxes anyway. Reckon it's time to step up homebrew production again. Yeah. Well, all my beers sat over here in barrels. I can't touch it. I've got 40 pints of Imperial Stout sat there, and you know, I could drink the lot in a week quite easily. And it's gutting me that it's sitting there, absolutely gutting me. And you need to get self-employed full time, I guess. At some stage, that may well be the plan, because people know I do a good job. People know that I care. People know that I don't rob them. And it may well be the thing for the future. Certainly when I get to retirement age, which is a long way off. The time I get to retirement age, it'll gone up to 75. They want you dead. These rich people want you to work while they cream off the taxes. Brewdog Black Art has been a game changer for me. Right, yeah. Such a limited market for mainstream stouts. Enjoy much more than Guinness. Yes, it's better than Guinness, but don't tell any Guinness fans, because they will cry their hearts out and say, no, Guinness is better. No, it isn't. No. Guinness versus any Imperial Stout. No. Guinness is all right for what it is, but it isn't. Brewdogs is better. But I had that the other week with Guinness people having a go, and I thought, oh, stuff your stuff it, and that's why I stopped doing the. I was going to do another live. I was going to do a live Guinness. I stopped it. I can't be done with it. Anyway, how long have I been? 25 minutes in. I ain't even talked about the beer yet. Sorry not to be able to dispose of the Wraggy stout stash. Oh, I've got 4 barrels of beer that I can't touch before the wedding. I'm gutted. Never doing that again. Hey, Guinness's Black Water Long. Yeah, it is. I love you way more than my own spleen. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Have you tried Amspacken Day London Black? Ooh. So anyway, yeah. I love Oakham Citra. I love Oakham the brewery. Do some amazing beers. Peterborough base, so pretty local to Wraggy's beer reviews, to be fair. Supermarket beer buyer. Yeah. To be honest, you know, for years I was only supermarket beer buying. Good evening, David. It's been a while. I was only a supermarket beer buyer, and it was nice to. I branched out into like adventure beer, which was like local beers, and then I've gone further afield into craft beers. At the moment, though, I've had to rein everything back in and only buying maybe a couple from supermarkets, simply because pennies. Good evening, Ali. It has been a while. Yeah, these cask beer reviews don't. I do a lot of beer reviews, but the cask beer reviews are only to talk about the beer. There's no personality in a cask beer review. Although, if you watch a cask beer review, you may see the odd smile when I'm taking the mic, but and I'm trying to do it covertly, obviously. How good of a lock have you on the garden shed? These days, mate, don't need a lock. Have you seen the beer wall? It's literally empty. Yeah, there's nothing there now. Yes, it was based out of a unit near Southglade. I think he's going to move to Lenton Lane Brewery. Yeah, if you're interested in the beers, Carla, message him beforehand to make sure he's there. Otherwise, you might miss him. Morrison's trad beer selection is probably the best of the supermarkets at the moment. Asda's is rubbish, to be fair. Good evening, Righty. How are you? The Black Ops definitely got more taste than the Guinness. Yeah. Guinness fans won't agree, but yeah. Depends on what Guinness, though. Hey, because there are other versions. Standard Guinness, woof. Come to Poland. I'd love to come to Poland. I would. There are theme parks in Poland that require my attention, and there's beer in Poland that also requires my attention. Yeah. All these people who win the lottery, hey, I've made good use of it. One, there'd be a Wraggy tap room. There'd be Wraggy beers coming out, because if I've got a Wraggy tap room, I'm brewing beer. We'd have guests from across the UK coming to brew. Yeah. Certain people like Emperor's Brewery, Bang the Elephant, and other people and all. And then not only that, I'll be going to theme parks around UK, Europe, and the world. Oof. Is Adnam's Broadside a good pint? I've got 9 pints of it for my beer festival, although it's only 4.7%, not 6.3. Anyway, I can't even tell you how long we've been at. 30 minutes. I haven't even got onto the bloody St. Austell yet. Do apologise. Wraggy's nuts. You've never heard. Talk to myself all day at work. I need someone to talk to. So, really enjoyable. It's wet me whistle. Now, citrusy, easy drinking. Right, St. Austell. I will. Benjamin, you need to try that, matey. The Urban Chicken and Firerock, 2 cracking breweries. Tell you what, if ever you and your missus were down this way, oh Jesus, yeah, they're 2 amazing breweries and nice people as well. Nice people. Matt, if I win, not only would I do a world of good, because there are people that are good people, like me, who've got no money. Give them the money that helps them do what they want to do for their life. Never ever give somebody who's got an issue with drugs or drink, says he, money because you feed into their disaster. But give the right people money, and they can create something that's amazing. You know, some people just haven't got that rub of the green. St. Austell. How the hell do you say it? And if you haven't, have you ever tried St. Austell X? I don't know how you pronounce it. What temp have you got those beers at? Room temperature today? Yeah. So basically about 15 degrees. Yeah. Well, that's if it even got to 15 degrees in there. Tyskie. No one drinks Tyskie in Poland. It's funny that, isn't it? So a bit darker than the Oakham Citra. I am going to keep up with comments as we go along. It's a typical Wraggy live where nothing goes to plan. So all beer walls money. That's why I've never won the lottery. Yeah, somebody in the luck part of the world knows that I've got a beer wall and think, no, I'm not giving you it. Tyskie, don't you say Tyskie? So anyway, yeah, literally nearly a golden pour, centimetre, a finger of head. Nice little bit of carbonation flowing up from the bottom in a Fire Rock Brewery glass. Fire Rock Brewing Company glass, by the way. This is going to be interesting because on the nose, I won't go into that just now, but yeah. Ooh. The nose lets it down, but the Negan, good evening. Bonjour, monsieur. The beer wall is being depleted. After my birthday and the wedding vows, the beer wall was going to get attention. And although I don't ever want it to have 400 beers again, there was a moment when I had 400 beers in it, and literally it was too much, you know. Enough to cover 3 or 4 shelves is enough, because beers go out of date, as you know. Possibly Monday night, if I can pick up some beers for Monday night. I'm out tomorrow, which is Saturday. Austell Stout. I see an Asda today. Oh. I'll have to go to Asda and see if they've got it in my Asda. Asda's really funny. If you have to go to the right Asda. Really surprised aren't required to have calories and nutritional content on the label. Always worried these sweet beers with chocolates and the other aren't time bomb for diabetes, love. Yeah, Carla, you know, it is a worry for certainly people with diabetes that could be an issue. Good evening, Steve. It's been a long while. Wow. It's great to see people's names who I recognise coming back into the chat. I do apologise for the length that I've been off doing these lives. I will be as well. The wife's out Monday night doing a classes till 8 o'clock, so I've got a 2-hour window. Keeps things level. You know, you've got to appease your ladies, haven't you, or your partners? You know, it's always a two-way thing. An imperial chocolate stout from Cloudwater is 450 calories per 440 ml. Some sort of, I think she's doing boxing classes and all sorts of things. But probably to give me a good hiding. Pole dancing, let's hope not. Although I've heard that's one of the things, pole dancing. Yeah, it better not be one of them things. Good evening, Steve. I have a bottle of that Citra. Got it in a couple of years ago. As the homebrew I was making, I had Citra hops and was invested in just checking out another beer with Citra. Ooh, fair play. As to West Bridgeford, it's like, yes, it does. Bit of a trek from you from Sherwood, though. Yeah, I forgot you was from Sherwood. Yeah, not far away from me, obviously. Yeah, I do like Asda West Bridgeford. And you know, if you go at the right time on a Sunday, you can pick up some bargains on their meat section. About 12 o'clock Sunday morning is a great time to go to Asda West Bridgeford. Let me tell you. You need to do more reviews when you're cooking on the barbecue. I need to get the gas bottle on the barbecue. Yeah. I do it on the barbecue. I better watch out. Yeah. Sherwood Pines Forest last Sunday. Is that near you? Not that I know. Sherwood Pines Forest. I have no idea even where that is. Is it in Nottinghamshire? So no. I will get around to actually doing beer versus beer, but it's good. It's that time of the year, Steve. Tans, you know. Finally, the sun's actually come out. Good evening, Mark. We'll talk about the elephant in the kitchen in a minute. Yeah, it's that time of the year. Although the sun today, 12 o'clock, the sun's come out and it's like, oh, thank God. Early in the morning, winter jacket, wind's blowing, winter jacket. What's that about? Flipping June. Still moving around me of handicap under thumb with more red cars than I've had hot dinners. Sad to see Leeds go down, mate. I'd have rather Everton gone down, to be fair. Leicester, well, fair play. Sorry to anybody in Leicester. Asda West Bridgeford is the only store left in Notts that's kept its 24 hours opening since the pandemic. Yeah, a lot of that stopped, hasn't it? Mansfield NG21 postcode. Ah, right. Yeah, that's quite a bit of the way up. Yeah, I'm going over to Worksop tomorrow morning to pick up some barrels for my wedding vows. Wife wants barrels. Don't ask me why. £30 a barrel. I tell you what, if the barrels have got any whiskey left in them, whoa, job's a good one. Then barrels will be coming home. Draining the whiskey. Well, if it is whiskey, as long as it's not anything else other than whiskey, and doing that. What's your favourite pub in Nottingham? That is a toughie. Bloody hell, that's really, really tough. Favourite cask beer pub? Starring at Beeston. However, craft and cask, probably the Crown Inn at Beeston. Why? Because Beeston doesn't get the idiots that Nottingham city centre gets. And you do get a lot of idiots in the city centre. Barrel Drop is amazing, Carla. It's amazing. If you ever go in and there's a lady behind the bar, her name's Amy. She owns it. She's I think she's mixed race or black. I'm not sure. I think she's more mixed race than black, but I can't be 100%. But she's the owner. And give her an hello and say, say, Wraggy told me you was here. But yeah, she's lovely people. Ceremonies at Cockcliffe House, yeah, and then a beer festival afterwards. Four or maybe 5, depending on what I buy tomorrow. 4 or 5 barrels of beer and literally 20 or more mini kegs. So it's going to be a day. Keeping the beer cold, that's going to be interesting though. 10-minute drive from Worksop. Ooh, bless you. Don't really know who the owners are next season. I've been there, mate. Well, we've been there at Forest. Bad owners, bad managers. Faraz, oh God, he was as dodgy as they come. Car situation sorted, yeah. The BMW got scrapped. I'm literally kills me because we paid some dickhead 1,200 quid, £800 worth of parts. He fucked the car up. We got the 1,200 quid back. Never got the 800 quid back. The car got scrapped because of the damage he made to the car. Absolutely kills me. Amy's lovely. She's, I spoke to her once. To be fair, she got me into buying two Imperial Stouts that I didn't really go into buy, but she put me for Amundsen ones. One was an Emperor's Brewery one, and she got me into buying them. Bless her. King Billy, I like King Billy. I've only ever been in once though. To be fair, I was going to go in the other week on my stag do, but I was steaming, so I had to go home. I didn't have no, but if you go drinking, eat food. Yeah, that cold breeze, don't get me started. Being a gardener is horrible. Tracy will be drinking some of the beers, yeah. So she predominantly, it's interesting, as ladies, what beers do you like? What style of beers? Because my wife, she likes stouts, but not imperial stouts. She does not like the strong stouts. She likes your 5%ers. So she likes Alter Ego do a marshmallow stout. She loves that. A chocolate and hazelnut stout from the same brewery. She loves that as well. So I've actually buying certain beers just to appease her and a mate. I mean, but I'm trying to get a balance of beers. I've got some breweries actually giving me some beers as a wedding present, which is really kind. You know, I don't expect anything. Don't even. Someone said to me today, "What do you want as a present for your wedding?" I'm like, it's a wedding renewal. You know, I don't even care for that. We've already got a house, so we don't need anything of that. So it's a strange one, and I don't know how anybody else feels, but other people put a wedding list out of what they want, their wish list. Sod that bollocks. That feels like I'm scrounging. I don't scrounge off no one, but that's just me. It was in Chilwell, Carla. Yeah, it was somebody off Facebook in Chilwell. We just picked the wrong person. I couldn't be more gutted. You know, it does, because our BMW was a lovely car, and you know, we are really gutted. It absolutely does. It rips me to bits. Francis Corner is a great German lager. It is German, isn't it? Don't get me. And again, my wife likes the German lagers. She won't touch a lot of the types of it. It's interesting to see where people's styles of beers are. She won't touch some styles of beers. 43 minutes. I've not even done a comparison yet. We'll get there in the end. Carla Jade, my wife isn't remotely into ale, but she loves a porter. It's funny, isn't it? How we love certain types of beers. And that was POW Allen, obviously. Carla Jade, I like darker beers, also like tropical, hoppy beers personally. See, my wife will not touch anything that's tropical. She pulls the most ridiculous face. And so I say, here's a beer from Bang the Elephant, a tropical beer. You know, and then there's one of the brewers like literally a yard or two away from me. You can see his face. It's hilarious. Makes me chuckle. Matt, my wife likes dippers and tippers, basically. Anything that is expensive. Yeah. She's watching, so will wallop me now. Yeah, fair play. And good evening, Mrs. Matt. Mark, strange one. Beer given to Billy. Send it back. Who recommended the mechanic to me? A friend from the Star Inn. Yeah. And I'm sad for him because he'd had work done by this bloke. The work was top notch. We were desperate to get somebody to do the car at a reasonable price. We didn't, weren't going to charge us a fortune, but was going to do the work. We got very unlucky, and it was really sad in that respect. Really sad. So it's tasting nice. It's going to be a very, very, as with all beers, beer versus beers. And I've got a sneeze coming. As with all beer versus beers, just glad that nothing came out of my nose. It's all down to personal preference, and the same with beer reviews. I've said this on my channel for ages. that all beers are down to your own preference. Just because I don't particularly like it, or I'm not, it's not my type of beer. People that pour beers down the sink, unless it's really, really a bad beer, there are some bad beers, mainly from Aldi and Bargains. But mainly, most beers are pretty decent. However, Northern Monk, what did you do with that ice cream pail last weekend? That was a shocker. You got some sort of ice cream on it, but bloody hell, the fake flavours coming through was terrible. It's funny, you know this thing with craft and trad. Thornbridge are bringing their trad beer range back into bottles. So it kind of throws the trad and craft out the window, because most breweries now brew beer into can, which we consider as craft beer. Unless it's technically John Smith's, then yeah, you obviously know it's not bloody craft. Yeah, if someone gave you a can of Guinness and says that's craft beer, mate, and it's not fucking craft, piss off. But and now, like the likes of the Thornbridge, they're the first of these breweries that are bucking that trend and going the other way. It's an interesting time. It's really interesting. Fair play, Benjamin. I understand that one. We'll pour a beer if I'm limiting my intake. I don't want to waste my units on a beer that I'm not enjoying. That's a guy. Yeah, that I understand. If people for calories, for alcohol intake, I get that. I've never even cared what intake I drink, as long as it's enough. I tried a ghost once that Vicky bought me, thinking it was a normal beer, straight down the sink. Fair play. I mean, I've only actually poured, I think, one bit, no, maybe two beers in that 5,000 beers. One was that cider, a Santa cider from, I don't know what the company was, but it was tasted like sweaty socks. And there was another one that was off as well. It was really off, and I had to pour it. But other than that, I've actually drank everything. Carla, yeah, I think that's a valid statement there. The trad IPAs, you still get the maltiness with the craft, overpowered by the hops, and price. Price matters. For me, surely you can have a beer that delivers without so much hops going in that it's all about the hops. Does it need to be all about the hops? Taste is paramount, surely. And this is a thing where craft beer fans and trad beer fans will always argue about it, in their way at least. Yeah, I did drink Ninkasi, and I absolutely slaughtered that. That was 45 minutes of me battering Wild Beer Company. Wild Beer Company will never ever talk to me again. I was absolute. That if people think that I only do positive beer reviews, that's a beer review you need to watch and think, Jesus Christ, he's absolutely obliterated that company. Thomas, yeah, same as me, mate. A beer would have to be really bad to consider pouring, especially when you paid for it. There are so many good beers, and I think a lot of the trad beers these days are better in bottle. The trad beers are better in bottle than they are on cask. Not that you ever see them on cask, mate, to be fair. I do like Ghost Ship, but Adnams, if you ever get the chance to go to Southwold in Suffolk, um, if you ever go to Southwold in Suffolk, to the home of Adnams, you walk in, and you may be a more of a supermarket beer person, but you walk there, you walk into the Soul Bay Inn. It's their tap bar, And I tell you what, you know, if you like Ghost Ship, their beers are amazing. You know, it's literally for me, any beer fan, it's a place to go over, have a couple of days there just to enjoy some amazing beers. No, I don't like every beer. And a friend of mine says to me, I can tell when you don't like a beer. And that's without you saying anything, because it's your face gives it away. So even though I'm trying to be nice, the face gives it away. And too many times on my thumbnails. So 50 minutes in, woof, I actually get on to an actual comparison between the two. So I do apologise, rattling away. It's been so long that I've not really enjoyed a live. It's really nice to get back out there. I've been watching bloody Coronation Street in Emmerdale. I can tell you what happens in Emmerdale, and I absolutely hate Emmerdale. On the Ghost Ship tomorrow. Oh, fair play. Broadside is always nice on tap. Yeah, but the ABV drop is amazing. 4.7 against 6.3 in bottle. Can't understand it. I can't understand that. That is an amazing drop of ABV. Brewdog are overpriced, aren't they? You know, they are a bit overpriced. Yeah. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to Bridle later this year. Saving me bottles of your face on them. Yeah, he's brewing another one. So Stuart is brewing a Wraggy's plum one. And that'll be interesting. So here we go. Broadside is amazing. I love the fact that the ladies like Broadside as well, and it's always interesting, you know. Obviously, we all like what we like. Doesn't matter if you're a lady or a gentleman, but it's interesting to see the female point of view. Wraggy's plums on the bottle. Yeah, that would be awful, mate. Yeah, I don't want to see it. I've been ribbed tonight about Wraggy's plums. Yeah, and I'm not going to go any further. Oakham Citra. So Oakham Citra this side, St Austell this side. So as we can see from the colour, the St Austell is quite darker than the Oakham. Head-wise, both got a similar head on them. The carbonation on the St Austell is much more than the Oakham, but that might be that might be the glass itself. Bid Brewers Fabriment. He first got some cracking Christmas beer. Ooh. He's a nice guy, to be fair. Yeah. And I'm glad that he's doing really, really well. I mean, when we went to Bridlington, it pissed it down all day. We were glad to get in his pub, and Broadside is a good pint. Yeah. Oh, Tom. So anyway, right, nose wise. So Oakham, St Austell on the nose. Let me give them both a swirl at the same time, because that's better. Okay, so on the nose, the Oakham delivers a little bit more of an aroma on the nose. Can I bet my stack of bills on Proper Job? Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh. I've got a Skull and Hammers IPA that I've never tried before. We'll have that tomorrow. Carla, you know, I've got that behind me, and I might do an actual, just a beer review, a live, of the Skull and Hammers. It won't be tomorrow, but it may be Sunday. I was made up to see him on your reviews. He deserves the shout outs. Good. I'm glad, Ali. I'm glad. Yeah. From memory, I prefer Proper Job. Ooh. Miles, good evening, mate. How are we these days? It has been a long while, and like most people on the chat, it has been too long. So Right, so on the nose, I prefer Oakham. On the looks, it doesn't really matter. They both look good. On the taste, however, oh, it's got some poke to it. The old Citra has. Yeah, citrusy, pokey, bit of bitterness on the back end. Right, the old proper job. Surprisingly, pretty decent on the as well. So I'll give them both a swirl, just so they're both at the same sort of swirliness. I think the lives are good. Yeah, I've been off the live for too long. I know that, and mental health issues are not there anymore. I'm a lot different than I used to. I mean, still have shit days. Everyone does, doesn't they? But yeah, on that side of things, it's not a problem anymore. Time is the big thing these days. Working like an absolute soldier. There's another word. Rhymes with rat. Begins with T and W. But but yeah, proper job is a more well-rounded flavour, but citrus delivers more on the tropical front. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, I've had proper job. It's okay, but I prefer Oakham Citra for me. And this is the thing: we all like what we like. I could drink these two beers in front of you. I could hand these beers to you, and you could get something totally different from me. God knows what's going off in the background. Unless I've got a duck in the background somewhere. Definitely something in the background. Oh, these are nice beers. And that's why I chose these beers, because these are a good representation of beers that are both available on cask, both available on bottle. Most supermarkets, Oakham's everywhere. St Austell, most places as well, to be fair. It's a real difficult aroma. Yeah, Oakham just tips it for me on the aroma. Looks, they both look the same. I do apologise, Benjamin. Is that me spurring you on? I've got to that stage now where I've got to look at the beer wall and I'm like, oh, I'm not. There's a time coming very soon where I've got nothing, absolutely nothing to review. So I'm gonna have to start going buying beers, which will be predominantly trad beers. Audi tend to stock proper job. Yes, yes. I'm sure Lidl do as well, to be fair. Both importantly, great prices. Yeah, in a cost of living crisis. And let's not forget that, yeah, a lot of people can afford £8 a can and beyond. But there are a hell of a lot of people that £2 a bottle is expensive. You know, it's not easy to pay £2 for a can or a bottle of beer. Good evening, Mr. Burn Buildings. It's been a while. Hope you're okay. And yeah, you know, I come from that background where, you know, it's literally, you know, you're watching your pennies, you know, is what it is. We all have jobs. Some people are in better jobs than others. And yeah, watching your money is key. But when both of these beers are this price, then you know you're getting a decent beer for the price. I mean, if you was going to go to a pub, you'd be paying £4, £4 to £4.50 for a pint of these. So 500ml is 68 mils less than what a pint would be. So not far off a pint, to be fair. So for £2, you know, round about £2, you're getting a decent beer. And at the end of the day, I don't like supporting supermarkets because they're greedy bleeders, but you are supporting the breweries if you do buy from supermarkets. I personally would like to see more trad beers on the channel. To be fair, certainly in the next month or two, there's going to be a lot of trad beers because literally I'm only going where I can afford to go. And in some ways, beers change over the years. What you've got to understand is breweries change. Look at what Marston's have done to Witchwood. They've destroyed Witchwood. So a lot of their beers are both still in that cheap bracket, but a lot of their beers just aren't the same beers. So it's interesting to re-review beers, even if they are cheaper beers. See, Benjamin, I was spending £50 a week on beers, and I've not done since the start of the year, knowing that we had so much income to spend out on without the bloody car issues. So I had to spend, I've really had to curtail any spending on beer. And I forget what I'm saying. But yeah, not spending anywhere near the amount I used to spend. I mean, local beers. The only time I'm drinking local beers now is when I'm going to a cask, doing cask. And it's not because it's I want to drink. All I want to drink is cask. It's just because watching the old finances and seeing how that goes. To be fair. So, Burn Buildings has said, spot on. Pub not from me. Citra, £4.30 a pint. Landlord, £4.70. Now, beer's hitting me. On cask, £1.60 a bottle in the 4 for 3 deal. You can't fault that, can you? And this is where you've got to watch out for these deals, because certain beers aren't on the deal. In Tesco's the other night, McEwen's Champion was not on a deal. Witchwood of Goblin was not on a deal. So you've got to really look at them tickets for that 4 for 3. And again, it's about people watching what they're spending. We all want to support the breweries. We do. And, I support the breweries probably more than most people. But at the end of the day, limited resources. So, you've got to be careful of how you support the breweries. Coach House, Cheshire Gold. Yeah, that's in Morrison's at the moment. Morrison's have got quite a few from that area of the world. Coach House, Lancashire beers, definitely. Carla, you're right. When you look at some of the beers, the craft beers, and and I'm sure Benjamin will agree with this, when you pay £6 or £7 for a can of something and it don't deliver, and you're like, I've paid £7 for that, and it's crap. And I could pay £2 for a trad beer and it delivers. It's tough. It's tough when you see that, this what you spend, especially when money is an issue. Own bargains can be decent, although Jesus Christ, did anybody see the review I did earlier? They've got a new one out. It's what was it called? I can't remember the beer now, but it was crap anyway. And Own Bargains. And the problem with Own Bargains is they contract brew their beer. So sometimes you'll get the beer from a brewery that's doing it, and they're not worried about making a profit. It's all about making the beer, jobs are good, and it pays for whatever. Other breweries, that may contract brew this beer, I'm only assuming this, they're brewing the beer, but they're fleecing on something to make it a bit more profitable for them, and the beer's shit. Or it's just bad breweries, God knows. Yeah, the fake own brand stuff is shit. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, that one from Own Bargains that I uploaded today, oh God, it was crap. It really was crap. So, Oakham Citra, proper job. Here we go. Buzz, good evening. Money is an issue. You know, I don't get my beers for free. I pay for what I get. So money is always an issue. You know, don't get an £11 beer for free and do a, oh, this is the best beer in the world review. I paid 11 quid for that fucker. And these are things that I've got to come into consideration. I've watched some beers that a friend of mine who's a brewer posted some beers from some shop. Some of them beers were 27 quid a beer, and it's like shit. And there'd have to be some amazing beers. What are the regular beers on tap at Cockcliffe House? We're going on to, so on lager, only three. So there's on lager, it's Madry. On cider, it's Aspel. And we've just got rid of Sharp's Atlantic Pale Ale, and we're going on to Beavertown Neck Oil. Bearing in mind, it is a wedding venue, so they can only stock so many beers. B&M Bargains is crap these days, POW. Yeah, Alan. My local B&M Bargains, there's nothing new in. Absolutely crap. Years ago, decent. Benjamin, good evening, mate. See you later. So, I need to end because wife's going to 8:45. I need to crack on. So, who's going to win? Here we go. Let's go. They're both good. They're both good IPAs, but I'll tell you now. Oh, it's not the way to drink IPA. Jesus Christ, steaming. So the winner of the battle of the IPAs, obviously only my opinion. Good evening from Norway. How are you? So the battle of the IPAs, yeah, there's been nothing in B&M for a long while. Out of these two beers, they're pretty close, to be fair. They're both amazing in IPAs. But the winner for me tonight, just by a tad, is Oakham Citra. Wow. A little bit more flavour in there, a little bit more going on. And Oakham Citra, the winner of the IPA challenge. Ooh. The only thing is now, I need to put something else against it now to take the title away. But cheers, Mr. POW. Yeah. Wow, what a win. I didn't know which one was going to win. I had no preconcepts of who was going to win. But yeah, Oakham Citra, the winner. Massive thank you to everyone who's joined in tonight, everyone who stayed to the end. Yeah, wow. And the only way, you know, the only way to really win in a beer review, scores mean nothing. None of it means anything unless you're doing a beer versus beer. One beer versus another at the same time. because you forget. You're getting old. We're all getting old. None of us have got a computer that can remember every single digit of what something is. We think we can, but we can't. The only way to do it is the actual beer versus beer on that night. So Oakham Citra versus a craft IPA. Yeah. Oakham Citra versus Punk. I was just about to say that, to be honest. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. I will do more of these because for me, I feel that the beer versus beers are a great thing. One, you can chat. One, you can do the beer versus beer. And if I give enough notice, people can join in. And I sound I sound drunk. And whether I am or not is another thing. I've literally had 4 pints tonight, so not too much. But massive thank you to everyone who's come along tonight and who watches in the future. You know, it's what makes beer reviewing great. There are so many fantastic beer reviewers out there who deliver a good beer review and a good live content as well, without searching for the money as well, and that sort of thing. But anyway, thank you all for joining in, and we'll see you later. Maybe Sunday. Cheers. Got to turn off the right phone now. There you go.